Tonight, ABC News has an exclusive interview with President Joe
ending
Biden.
on it.
Our George
Done.
Stephanopoulos sat down with the
I'm going to
president
end
for
on
his
Twitter
first
as well.
televised interview since that
VivaBarnesLaw.locals.com.
performance against Donald Trump.
And
President Biden says
Rumble.
he is committed to
Rumble,
staying in the
Rumble.
race
Rumble
and
takeover.
confident that he will
Rumble on.
prevail
Let's
and
do this.
beat Donald
We're
Trump.
moving on Twitter.
The president was
We are
directly called
exclusive.
on to
Rumble
answer for his
and
sponsored
locals
appearances
now.
and whether he still has the mental and physical fitness for another term in the White House. Our team is standing by, of course, for analysis, but first,
Oh, yeah, let's hear the analysis. Let's do it. It's on, people.
Mr. President, thank you for doing this.
Thank you for having me.
Let's start with the debate. You and your team have said you had a bad night, but your friend Nancy Pelosi actually framed the question that I think is on the minds of millions of Americans. Was this a bad episode or the sign of a more serious condition?
It's a bad episode. No indication of any serious condition. I was exhausted.
Can't understand what you just
I
said.
didn't listen to my instincts.
What was that, to cancel?
Parents and I had a bad night.
You know, you say you're
Episode
exhausted,
is not a night.
and I know you've said that before as well, but you came, and you did have a tough month, but you came home from Europe about 11 or 12 days before the debate, spent 6 days in Camp David.
A bad
Why wasn't
episode.
that enough rest time, enough recovery time?
Because I was sick. I was feeling terrible. Matter of fact, the docs with me, I asked if they did a COVID test. We were trying to figure out what's wrong. They did a test to see whether or not I had some infection, a virus. I didn't. They just had a really bad cold.
And did you ever watch the debate afterwards?
I don't think I did, no.
I don't know.
Well, what I want to
why?
get at is,
What?
what
How?
were you
How?
experiencing as you were going through the debate? Did you know how badly it was going?
Yeah, look,
Yeah, I really mean it.
the whole way I prepared, nobody's fault, mine.
Why is he
Nobody's
holding a
fault
pen?
mine.
Why is he holding a pen?
I prepared what I usually would do, sitting down, as I did come back with foreign leaders or the National Security Council, for explicit detail. And I realized about partway through that,
It was going badly.
I get quoted, the New York Times had me down at 10 points before the debate, 9 now or whatever.
Oh yeah,
the
well,
hell
you
it
think
is.
the debate helped you?
The fact of the matter is that what I looked at is that he also lied 28 times.
He?
I couldn't.
It's like
I
what my
mean,
kid does when he
the
wants
way
to get
the
out
debate ran,
of trouble.
Not my fault. Nobody else's fault.
But
But it
Trump
seemed
lied.
like you were having trouble from the first question in, even before he spoke.
Well, I just had a bad night. You've had some bad interviews once in a while. I can't remember any, but I'm sure you did.
I've had plenty.
You've had
I
some
guess
bad
the
interviews.
problem is
What an
here for a lot of
asshole.
Americans watching is you've said going back to 2020, watch me.
Yep.
To people who are concerned.
Yeah, I'm gonna
about
clean his
age. And,
clock, is what
50
he
million
said.
Americans watched that debate. It seemed to confirm fears they already had.
Well, look, after that debate, I did 10 major events in a row, including till 2 o'clock in the morning after that debate.
Yeah.
I did events in North Carolina. I did events in Georgia. Did events like this today. Large crowds, overwhelming response, no slipping. And so I just had a bad night. I don't know why.
And,
I don't know.
how quickly did it come to you that you were having that bad night?
Well, it came to me as having a bad night when I realized that even when I was answering a question, even though they turned his mic off, he was still shouting. And I let it distract me. I'm not blaming it on that. But I realized that I just wasn't in control.
I wasn't in
Part of the other
control.
concern is
There was
that,
no crowd.
This seems to fit into a pattern of decline that has been reported on.
Yeah,
recently.
let
New
me
York
smile.
Times
Another man who probably
headline
got
on
through life
July
with good
2nd,
looks.
Biden's lapses are said to be increasingly common and worrisome.
Mhm.
Here's what they wrote. People who have spent time with President Biden over the last few months or so said the lapses appear to have grown more frequent, more pronounced, and after Thursday's debate, more worrisome. By many accounts, as evidenced by video footage, observation, and interviews.
Weren't we
Mr.
all
Biden
made
is not
fun
the
of
same today
for
as he
observing that?
was even when he took office 3.5 years ago? Similar reporting in the Washington Post and the Wall Street Journal. Are you the same man today that you were when you took office?
Well, of course
3.5
not. I'm
years
older.
ago?
In terms of successes, yes. I also was the guy who put together a peace plan for the Middle East.
Yeah, that's worked out
that may
well.
be coming to fruition. I was also the guy that expanded NATO. I was also
That's
the guy
worked-
that
that's
grew the
worked out well.
economy. All the individual things that were done were ideas I had or I fulfilled. I moved on. And so, for example, well, that was true then. What's Biden done lately? Today, just announced 200,000 new jobs. We're moving in a direction that no one's ever taken on. I know you know this from the days in the government. I took on Big Pharma. I beat them. No one said I could beat them. I took on all the things we said we got done. We were told we couldn't get done. And part of it is what I said when I ran was I wanted to do three things.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Restore some decency to the office.
Yeah, with the titties of
Restore
trannies,
some support for the middle
anal
class
sex in
instead of
Congress.
trickle down economics, built from the middle out and the bottom up.
The hell does that
The
mean?
wealthy still do fine. Everyone does better. And unite the country.
But what has all that work over the last 3.5 years cost you physically?
He wants to
mentally,
unite the country with those MAGA extremists.
Well, I just think it cost me a really bad night, bad run.
That makes no sense.
But,
I'll bounce back.
George,
I don't know where I am.
I'm optimistic about this country. I don't think we're a country of losers, that he points out. I don't think America's in tough shape. I think America's on the cusp of breaking through in so many incredible opportunities.
Sir, what the hell are you
This
talking
next
about
term,
right
I'm going
now?
to make sure we have straighten out the tax system.
Just
I'm going to make sure
straightening-
we're in a situation where we have health care for all people.
Oh, yeah.
Or we're in a position where we have child care and elder care, free up, and all these things. One thing I'm proud
This
of
was he was told by his
is remember
handlers to
when my
mention
economic
policy.
plan was put forward, a lot of the mainstream economists said it's not going to work. Well, guess what? You now have 16 Nobel laureates, 16 of them in economics, saying that Biden's next term would be, based on what he wants to do, enormous success.
Is he talking about himself in the
Trump's
third
plan
person?
would cause a recession, would significantly increase inflation. I've made great progress, and that's what I plan on doing. And we can do this.
I understand that, and I'm not disputing that. What I'm asking you is about your personal situation. Do you dispute that there have been more lapses, especially in the last several months?
I don't remember.
Can I run the 110 flat? No, but I'm still in good shape.
Are you more frail?
No.
Frailty is
I
an
know
Look at my
asset.
schedule.
I know you spoke with your doctor after the debate. What did he say?
He said, he just looked at me. He said, "You're exhausted." I said, "Look, I have medical doctors traveling everywhere. Every president does, as you know. Medical doctors, some of the best in the world, travel me everywhere I go. I
Why?
have an ongoing assessment of what I'm doing.
Why?
And they don't hesitate to tell me if they think there's something wrong.
I know you said you have an ongoing assessment. Have you had a full neurological and cognitive evaluation?
I get a full neurological test every day.
Oh
with me.
my goodness. He pulled
And
it.
I've had a full physical. I had, I've been able to read for my physicals. Yes, the answer is
I know your doctor said he consulted with a neurologist. I guess I'm asking a slightly different question. Have you had the specific cognitive tests, and have you had a neurologist, a specialist, do an examination?
No.
no one said I had to.
No one said I
They
had
said
to.
I'm good.
Everybody said
Would
you
be
had
willing
to. You.
undergo an independent medical evaluation that included neurological and cognitive
No,
tests.
why do
and
I have to? I
release
do a
the
test
results
every day.
to the American people?
Look, I have a cognitive test every single day.
Oh my God, I predicted it,
Every
people.
day I have that test.
Everything
Everything I do.
I do.
Not only am I campaigning, but I'm running the world.
Oh my
And that's
goodness.
not how it sounds like hyperbole.
I said, no, I really mean it. I really mean it.
Central nation in the world.
I really mean it.
President Albright was right. And every single day, for example, today, before I come out here,
I made poopy.
I'm on the phone with the Prime Minister of, anyway, I shouldn't get into the detail.
Because he can't remember who he's on the phone with.
I'm on the phone with the new Prime
Oh
Minister.
my
of England.
goodness.
I'm working on
He
what we're
can't remember
doing
who
with
he's on the
regard
phone
to-
with.
in Europe with regard to
Flip it.
expansion of NATO and whether it's going to stick. I'm taking on Putin. Every day,
Take it
there's
on.
no day I go through, they're not those decisions I have to make every single day.
Joe,
And
will
to
you
do
have
that
a
in America,
cognitive
people
test?
watching, yet their concerns about your
I'm sorry.
age and your health are growing. So that's why I'm asking, to reassure them, would you be willing to have the independent medical evaluation?
No.
Watch me there's a lot of time left in this campaign.
Remember
It's over
where it was.
125 days.
125 days.
So
I'll
the
make
answer,
a decision.
the right answer right now is no, you don't want to do that, right?
No, I've already done it.
Every day.
You talked a lot about your successes at the
When-
beginning.
when did you
of
do
this
it?
interview.
When did you
and,
do
and
it?
I don't want to dispute
Yeah.
that. I don't want to debate that. But as you know, elections are about the future, not the past. They're about tomorrow, not yesterday. And the question on so many people's minds right now is, can you serve effectively for the next 4 years?
Yeah, so long as you have a heartbeat.
I'm the guy that put NATO together in the future. No one thought I could expand it.
Why is he whispering
I'm the
to
guy that shut Putin down. No one thought could happen.
showed
I'm the guy
Putin
that put
down?
together the South Pacific Initiative with AUKUS. I'm the guy that got
Who?
50 nations, out, not only in Europe, outside of Europe as well, to help Ukraine. I'm the guy that got Japanese to expand their budget. So I mean, these, and for example, when I decided we used to have 40% of the computer chip.
All right, I'm selling Joe Biden short here.
Everything from cell phone to weapons. And so we used to have 40%. We're down to virtually nothing. So I get in the plane against the advice of everybody, and I fly to South Korea. I convinced them to invest in the United States billions of dollars. Now we have tens of billions of dollars being invested in the United States,
Does anybody
making us
understand
back in a
what the hell
position
this
we're
guy's
going to
talking
own
about?
that industry again. We have, I mean, I just, anyway.
Anyway,
I don't wanna
no, that's it.
change
Anyways, I lost my
the
train of thought.
staff.
But I guess my point is, all that takes a toll. You have the
Holy
mental and physical
shit.
capacity to do it for another 4 years.
You won't be.
Chiefs, I wouldn't be running if I didn't think I did.
You don't understand it.
I'm running again because I think I understand best what has to be done to take this nation to a completely new level. We're on our way.
Oh yeah.
We're on our way. And look, the decision recently made by Supreme Court on immunity, you know, the next president of the United States, it's not just about whether he or she knows what they're doing. It's not about a conglomerate of people making decisions. It's about the character of the president. The character of the president.
It's about character. There you go. That's the catchline for the media. It's the character of the president. What happened?
And we should note that ABC News offered Donald Trump the same opportunity for
Come on,
a one-on-one
what is happening
interview,
here?
and he
What's going on?
declined. We'll have more of George Stephanopoulos' exclusive interview with President Biden in just 60
Holy
seconds. Stay with
hell.
us.
The character. Oh, I just got
Israel, a nation podcast recording studio allows you to
tornado tour through this town
anytime, anywhere.
Go do that. It's about the character of the president. The next Dem talking point is in bold. It's about the character of the president. So I'm just going to do this. Now say the line, everyone. Bam! I hope I got that out first. This interview, this pre-recorded interview, is an abject disaster. I'm going to bring that up in a second. I'm just going to go to the chat in vivabarneslaw.locals.com. He looks like how you think Chuck Norris should look. That's from Soltron. Trump can't submit an appeal until Merchan pronounces sentence in September, says Kimmy Hunt, which is a correct statement, I believe. Ithaca 37 Cato, America's Untold Stories today on Dems Dilemma. Eric Hunley, they're really behind the 8-ball mark, and it's fun to watch. Mark, oh no, it's laughs with glee and clasps his hands. It's the greatest week of my life. Are you kidding me? Just a reminder, Viva, during all of Trump's convictions, there wasn't a single riot, unlike the Summer of Love, says Ganthit. No question about that. Then we got Big Bad Bob with Snuffleupagus. Viva, since you lived in Canada until recently, it's understandable that you don't know. Oh, no, I know who Mr. Snuffleupagus is. But is that really George? Hello, Viva. Just subscribed for a year. Bada bing, bada boom, Londo. Welcome to the club. Above average. Everyone, let him know. He is now officially above average. Bill Brown says, I'm friends with the guy from there. Okay, so I got that. This interview is an abject disaster. All right, it's back on. Oh, shitballs. Sorry. I'm sorry. Why did I do this?
Inflation has come down. In those last few months, he's become a convicted felon, yet you're still falling further behind.
You guys keep saying that. George, you know polling better than anybody. Do you think polling data is accurate as it used to be?
I don't think so, but I think when you look at all the polling data right now, it shows that he's certainly ahead in the popular vote, probably even more ahead in the battleground.
And you just
states.
cited
One
New
of the
York
other
Times
key
polling.
factors there
So,
is it shows that in many of the battleground states, the Democrats who are running for Senate and the House are doing better than you are.
Well, that's not unusual in some states. I carried an awful lot of Democrats last time I ran.
I
in
didn't understand what
2020.
you just said there.
Look, I
Look.
remember them telling me the same thing in 2020. I can't win. The polls show I can't win. Remember 2020, the red wave was coming. Before the vote, I said, that's not going to happen. We're going to win. We did better in an off year than almost any incumbent president ever has done. They said in 2023, all the tough races, we're not going to win. I went into all those areas, all those districts, and we won.
All that is true, but 2020 was a close race. And your approval
And you
rating has
cheated.
dropped
And you
significantly
stole it, you
since
son
then. I
of
think
a
the last
bitch.
poll I
We all
saw
knew
is
that.
about 36%. The
Oh,
number of
right.
Americans who think you're too old to serve has doubled since 2020. Wouldn't a clear-eyed political calculus tell you that it's going to be much tougher to win in 2024?
Not when you're running against a pathological liar. Not when he hadn't been challenged in a way that he's about to be challenged.
When
Not
you
when
had your
people
chance,
had
you
months to
brutally just-
challenge you.
Oh, I sure had myself, but I was also doing a hell of a lot of other things, like wars
hell.
around
Wars.
the world.
Wars.
Like keeping NATO together.
Oh my God, he
Like
was
working
doing
with-
wars. He was doing wars around the world.
Do you really believe you're not behind right now?
I think all the pollsters I talk to tell me it's a toss-up. It's a toss-up.
This is the worst
And when
interview
I'm
I've ever
behind,
seen.
There's only one poll I'm really far behind, CBS poll and NBC, and
New York Times and NBC both have you
Yeah,
about 6 points behind in the popular vote.
that's exactly right. New York Times had me behind before anything having to do with this race. Had me behind 10 points. 10 points had me behind. Nothing's changed substantially in the New York Times poll.
Just when you look at the reality, though, Mr. President, I mean,
Mr.
you
President.
won the popular vote in 2020, but it was still deadly close in the
By
electoral
7
college.
million votes.
Yes, but you're behind now in the popular vote.
I don't buy that.
Is it worth the risk?
Well, there's no
I don't think
option.
anybody's more qualified to be president or win this race than me.
There's no option.
You know, the heart of your case against Donald Trump is that he's only out for himself, putting his personal interest ahead of the national interest. How do you respond to critics
Who say you're going to
that by
pardon
staying
your
in the race,
son?
you're doing the same thing?
Oh, come on.
Oh, come on.
I
I'm
don't
so
think those critics know what they're talking about.
They're just wrong.
It's wrong.
Look,
Look, Trump is a pathological liar. Trump is, he is,
look. No,
have you
never
ever
mind.
seen anything
Never
Trump
mind.
did that benefited somebody else, not him?
Run for the
You
country.
can't
you
answer,
son of
I
a
know.
bitch.
I've questioned him and his allies as persistently as any journalist has.
No, I know you have. I'm not being
Yeah.
critical.
Yeah.
I'm not being critical. But
Lower
look,
my mic.
I mean, the man is a congenital liar.
Congenital
As
liar.
I said, they pointed out in that debate, he lied
Congenital
27,
liar.
28 times the times, or whatever number, over 20 times. Talk about how good his economy was, how he brought down inflation, how this is a guy who, unlike
Congenital.
only other president other than him is Hoover, lost more jobs than he created. This is a guy who told us to put bleach in our arms to deal with COVID, with over a million people died. This is a guy who talks about wanting to get rid of the healthcare provisions we put in place. This is a guy who wants to give the power back to big pharma to be able to charge exorbitant prices for drugs. This is a guy who wants to undo every single thing I've done. Every single thing.
I understand that. And I understand that's why you want to stay in the race. But have you convinced yourself that only you can defeat him?
I convinced myself of two things. I'm the most qualified person to beat him,
Yeah, he's
and I know how to get things done.
If you can be convinced that you cannot defeat Donald Trump, will you stand down?
Hold on a
It
second.
depends if the Lord Almighty comes down and tells me that, I might do that.
Well, I mean, on a more
Oh my
practical level, Washington Post just
Can
reported
someone
it
clip
in the
that part
last
about
hour
congenital liar?
that Senator Mark Warner is
Congenital
assembling
liar.
a group of senators together to
Congenital.
try to convince you to stand down because they don't think you can win.
Well, Mark is a good man. He's
Also,
never had that. He also tried to get the nomination too. Mark's not. Mark and I have a different perspective. I respect him.
And if Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries and Nancy Pelosi come down and say,
Holy
we're
hell.
worried
This is
that if you stay in the race, we're going to lose the House and the Senate, how will you respond?
I go into detail with them. I've spoken to all of them in detail, including Jim Clyburn.
Okay.
Every one of them. They all said I should stay in the race.
We need it.
Stay in the race. No one said, none of the people said,
Congenital
But if
liar.
they do,
well, it's like, they're not going to do that.
you sure?
Well, yeah, I'm sure. Look, I mean,
Look,
if the Lord Almighty came out and said, Joe, get out of the race, I get out of the race. The Lord Almighty's not coming down. I mean, these hypotheticals, George, if all,
But it's not that hypothetical anymore. I grant that they have not requested the meeting, but it's been
well,
reported.
I met with
This is an
I've never allowed these
assassination
people.
piece. It's not a hit piece.
I've talked with them
It's an
regularly.
assassination
I
piece.
had an hour conversation with Hakeem. I had
Akeem?
more time than that with Jim Clyburn. I spent time with many hours off and on the last little bit with Chuck Schumer. It's not like I had all the governors.
I agree that the Lord Almighty is not going to come down, but if you are told reliably from your allies, from your friends and supporters in the Democratic Party, in the House and the Senate, that they're concerned you're going to lose the House and the Senate if you stay in, what will you do?
I'm not going to answer that question. It's not going to happen.
What's your plan to turn the campaign around?
Saw it today. How many people do you get draw crowds like I drew today?
Ah!
You find me any more enthusiastic than today?
Yeah, Trump every day of the week.
I mean,
By the way,
I don't
apparently
wanna play the
congenital
crowd game.
liars.
Donald Trump can draw big crowds. There's
I
no
stand
question about
corrected.
that.
Now you can draw a big crowd, but what does he say? Who's he have? I'm the guy supposedly in trouble.
You are in
raised
trouble.
$38 million within 4 days after this. We have over 1 million individual contributors. Less than $200. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, that's called Act Blue.
I've not seen what you're
fraud.
proposing.
You haven't seen the fall off in the polls. You haven't seen the reports of discontent in the Democratic Party, House Democrats, Senate Democrats.
I've seen it from the press.
Yeah.
So much to analyze. And
Oh.
so for more insight
yeah.
on this interview, we're joined now by contributing political
Hold on,
correspondent
it's
Rachel
over?
Bade, who's also author of the Politico Playbook. Rachel, thanks for joining us.
I hear
Good to be
mouth
here. I know that
noise.
every
Like-
source you have in Washington is going through the tea leaves and looking at it. Is there anything you or they saw tonight that is moving the needle on this? And is even
It's
a perfect
8:51.
performance going to move the needle?
Yeah, I was hearing even before this interview aired that a perfect performance would sort of just prolong the inevitable right now. That, Biden
You
from
want
the
a
debate is
vocal
so
fry? I
damaged
don't like it.
that people will not forget what happened last Thursday, even if he, has the best interview possible here. And because of that sort of line of thinking, I would say that what we saw tonight is actually one of the worst possible scenarios for Democrats. He didn't do so bad that it's obvious and a whole bunch of Democrats are going to come out, go on record and say it's time for you to step aside. But he didn't do so amazingly that people are going to forget this. And so they're in this sort of limbo scenario. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
tell us who to
look,
vote
it
for.
wasn't as bad as last Thursday, but certainly not great. And that means more Democrats will still have concern.
And you know that on Capitol Hill, we're hearing about what Senator Warner is doing. We're hearing that Hakeem Jeffries is meeting with people. What do you think will come out of these meetings? What are you hearing?
Yeah, so I think next week is going to be a crazy week, Juju. I mean, the lawmakers have been out for a week now for congressional recess. This means they could avoid the press, they can avoid the cameras and not have to wade in. But at some point, they're not going to be able to hide anymore. And a lot of people have been talking on background, they've been talking off the record, and they've been very blunt, thinking that, the Biden campaign, the presidency, his presidency, his presidential campaign is essentially dead. And so we're going to see, I think, a lot more lawmakers come out. I think, Hakeem Jeffries, Chuck Schumer, they're hearing from a lot of concerned members. And these aren't just random members here. I mean, Mark Warner, the chair of the Intelligence Committee, he helps Joe Biden get his agenda through Congress. There's a lot of respect.
And this is friendly fire. This is a lot going on. Rachel Bade, thank you so much for your insights, as always.
Of course.
Cut her off.
Now let's bring in our ABC senior White House correspondent, Selena
interview
Wang.
over?
Selena, some people were calling this interview a televised cognitive test. How did the president score?
Is this interview over?
Well, look, this certainly did not quell the panic within the Democratic Party. In fact, it may have increased the schisms here. Now you have the camp of those who think that the president was just fine, that this is how President Biden normally is. And then the other camp who believe that this
Her name
really
is Juju
underscores
Chang,
the
which sounds
challenges
like
of his
choo-choo
candidacy,
train.
that he didn't
That's
do
from
enough to
Corn
turn
and
this
Mock
around.
Hub.
I've been speaking with some donors and allies here who say that this
Is the
didn't really
interview
change
over?
the status quo. Yes, it was far better than he did on that disastrous debate, but he didn't do enough to stem the damage here. And you, of course, have lawmakers, donors, and allies who are really waiting out on the sidelines, watching to see how he does in these rallies, in this critical interview, to decide if they want to continue supporting the president or if they want to join the growing chorus of those who are publicly calling him to step aside.
And how united is the support inside the White House? What are you hearing from your sources about how the president's interview went tonight?
What is this? These are
I was just talking to the White House, and they're calling this a solid interview. They believe that we need to focus less on the president's delivery and what he says and what he's done. The president, of course, has said so himself that 90 minutes shouldn't erase all the work that he's done in the last 3.5 years. They tout that he spoke about all the jobs that he's created, the work he's done around chips, on uniting NATO, on pushing back Putin in Ukraine. So in their view, this is just Joe Biden being Joe Biden. He was solid. He was never a spectacular speaker to begin with, and you certainly didn't get that today either.
And one of Biden's biggest surrogates, California Governor Gavin Newsom, is out campaigning for the president today, calling this an important weekend, saying none of us are naive. What are Biden and his advisors looking for to determine whether the campaign can recover from all this?
They're looking for a heartbeat.
Juju. I mean, look, polling is one thing, and the numbers have been getting worse. You have both the Wall Street Journal and New York Times polling showing that Trump is widening his lead over Biden's. Now at least 6%, 6-point lead. This is the spread, and it is growing. But of course, for the inner circle of the advisors to the president, they are still strongly standing behind him. They still believe that he is the best chance for the party to defeat Donald Trump. In other parts of the White House administration and other donors and ally circles, however, they believe that this inner circle is too tightly around this president and that they aren't hearing all of the criticism from the outside and that they're being too dismissive of it. But really, Juju, like you said, this is really a make or break it moment for the president, and he needs to continue to perform in these coming days. As I've been hearing from allies, it's not just one okay interview, one good rally. It's a successive string of days where the president needs to show that he has the stamina and mental acuity.
I'm stopping it there. I actually don't care what they have to say at this point. It's a make or break moment, but it's going to last several days to determine whether or not the president has the mental acuity to holy shit. Okay, so it looks like the interview's over. I think the interview's over. I'm going to just go back here. I'm going to put it on live with mute. The interview's over. That was the interview. Joe Biden's done. Joe Biden is done. The only question is going to be what happens. Holy shit. So I was trying to keep real-time track with tweets in terms of what was relevant and what was not. The markets now have Joe Biden and Kamala Harris at 42 cents each. If we can, full transparency, I bought, and by bought I mean sold, Kamala Harris 1,296 shares that she will lose. She will not be the candidate at 60 cents. So you can figure that out. Joe Biden's Joe Biden just overtook Kamala Harris. The minions have heard what they needed to hear. Joe Biden has overtaken Kamala Harris. There were so many things that he said during that interview, and I just want to make sure that it's actually over because it didn't end. It's a thank you for watching. Commercial break. Okay. I'm just gonna go to my tweet here. Holy crab apples. Congenital liar, I might have missed an expression that I'm not familiar with, which I will take as a compliment and not as an insult. The next Dem talking point is going to be, it's about the character of the president. Can you imagine that Joe Biden, who allegedly showered with his daughter at an inappropriate age to the point where she felt sexually exploited and molested, he's going to judge Trump on character. And it might explain why we're seeing a resurgence of a story that was debunked 2016, 8 freaking years ago, about Trump and some woman named Katie Johnson accusing him of sexual improprieties. 8 years ago. Now they're going to say it's about character of the president. It doesn't matter what he remembers, what he did, who he didn't do it with. It's about the president, the character of the president. I've got an ongoing assessment of what I'm doing. I'm just looking at my tweets here. He was doing wars across the world, is what Trump just said. In any realm of the universe, it would be over. I want Joe Biden to stay in the race because nobody would be easier to beat than Joe Biden. Gavin Newsom replacing Joe Biden would be harder to beat because at the very least, he's young by comparison. How old is Gavin Newsom? Hold on a second. It seems to me that Gavin Newsom is like well older than me. Hold on. Google Gavin. I'm in Gavin. Oh, Gavin. Gwyneth Paltrow. Gavin Newsom, California. That's Gavin DeGraw. Who the hell is Gavin DeGraw? No, Gavin Newsom. How old is he? How old? Newsom? God, I can't even figure this out. Age. Like, he's 56 years old. Good for him. He spent his life in politics. Gavin Newsom, at the very least, is a functional younger version of Joe Biden. It's absolutely atrocious what's going on in the world. That was the discussion. Oh, here we go. Let me bring these up because the interview's over. So now I can bring up some. Show the screen. George Stephanopoulos. Here we go. 113 green. Viva, they did this on purpose, right? And that interview ended oddly. It just stopped, and then we're listening to these dumb bitches. The reason why I feel emboldened to read dumb bitches for those two dumb women is because a woman wrote it. If she's a real woman, 113 green. Look, your avatar's a woman, and I'm just reading your tweet. It was missed because of how quickly it went by and how horrible his voice is. But he said he won by over 7 trillion votes. Joe had an accusation. While accusing, he's confessing. There's no question about that. Congenital heart disease. G. Fontes, this is all purposeful. Show people who's boss when the vast majority won't accept, quote, election, end quote, results on X day in November. Either way, they will be paid agitators in cities if the NED. Wait long. Hold on. What does NED mean? The new. I'll get that in a sec. I'll get that in a second. I figured it out. Biden is appearing brain dead to appeal to all the deceased voters. They're an influential group, says Tails 22. Biden's way under the bus. Stephanopoulos is throwing him under. He's out by Monday. Hello, Kamala, 113 green. From my own betting perspective, I hope you're wrong, but hold on. Biden just overtook Kamala. That's it. Everyone's assuaged. Biden said the talking points. He's a useful dead body in the candidacy, and he shall remain. Primus fan, did you see the HuffPost article from 2 days ago? Say that Biden campaign needed to use AI to basically prop up Biden's speaking performance. Fake videos of him speaking clearly and looking normal. I did not see that. I'm going to actually go back and make sure I see this. The only thing more disgusting than Joe Biden is watching the media try to tote his water. That's from Sad Wings Raging. Murray Pro. What if they try a Kamala Obama tick? Obama cannot be president or VP again. So it cannot be Obama. It could be Kamala Clinton. It could be a Kamala Clinton campaign. Drop your mic level by 20%, Viva. I think I did that already. George is setting him up. I smell Obama and Clinton. Why would they put him out there like this? I agree with you. I would make it myself, but I'm not good at that. But I really think if there was a video of Congress or who defending the mental case being absent. Dude, E-Dog, they're already out there. Thanks for this opportunity to watch. Cheers, says Jima too. Thank you very much. E-Dog81, I don't know who needs to hear this, but in order for us to pick up the seats in the Senate and House, should be making a compilation of the Robert Hur hearing showing ones that defended him. Dry and dirty. Okay. And there's no question about that. That actually explains why they are going after the audio of the Robert Hur, or the Ben Hur, as I like to say, the hearings. That was a disaster. That's a disaster. I'm not changing anything in my vote. Biden will not be the candidate, but I'm not betting on that. Kamala Harris will not be the nominee. I'm betting against that. And Hillary, come on, Hillary. Michelle Obama. Oh, it's so fantastic to watch this. All right. What I was going to do was go to vivabarneslaw.locals.com. vivabarneslaw.locals.com. I'm here. Okay. I'm reading them one by one. Finboy Slick, $1. If they approach me to do the job and they offer enough money, you'll know because Biden will have a booger hanging from his left nostril in every speech interview. Ganthit says, remember Biden, the left is, quote, leaking, end quote, transcripts of Trump raping 13-year-olds on Epstein's Island. There could be video footage of Biden doing this and it wouldn't change anything for Democrats. Ganthit, that story is bullshit. It was debunked in 2016. The recycling of that story right now at this point in time is telling, and I would argue is confession through projection. Finboy Slick, the interview was probably 4 hours long, but this is the only usable footage they could string together. I'm going to have to rewatch this, look for actual hard edits. Soltron says, how are they getting feedback so fast? Good question. I actually had that. They ended it and they probably have live like watcher games. What are they called? Watch parties. That's Soltron. Soltron says he looks like how you think. So people, I'll leave the chat open because this is wild. Jill campaign slogan, you know I've been in charge 4 more years, Chris in Toronto. Laura Loomer reporting Biden had, hold on. Reporting Biden had double case of Ebola. Okay, so that might be a joke. Bottom line, let's just go see what Laura Loomer had to say about that. I'm going to go over to my Twitter feed. The markets are stabilizing. Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, doesn't matter. Kamala Harris will not be the pick. That's obvious. The only reason they're propping up the dead man walking, Joe Biden, is because they don't want Kamala Harris as the pick. It will not be her. I'm saying this from a self-interested perspective because I've voted against her with money. It's called betting. But yeah. So Kamala Harris will not be the pick. That interview was a disaster. If everybody could snip and clip when I actually said something insightful, I might look smart tomorrow. What I was going to do was go to Twitter, which I got right here. Boom, shakalaka, Twitter. Hold on. Holy hell. Oh, my back hurts. The congenital liar. Maybe so. Okay, forget that. Biden's done. But Joe Biden just said he was doing wars across the world. Can someone clip that? That's what I want to clip. I was doing wars across the world. No shit, Sherlock. You were also starting war in the Middle East, starting war in the East Europe. Dude, all you do, you're a good war whore, Joe. And that's why people want to prop you up. So long as you have a heartbeat, a pulse, and you can string together an interview with a freaking cleanup crew of George Stephanopoulos, Snuffleupagus, Kropalopoulos, whatever the hell, you're good, man. You're good. I was doing wars across the world. We're done. I think we did it. So we watched it. I'm sweaty. Hold on a second. I'm going to take a scrunchie, put my hair in this. Everybody, Sunday night show is going to be on like Donkey Kong biatches. Let me just see if I'm not missing anything. I'm going to go to locals here. I'm going to go to tipped, all tipped, and refresh. And I'm going to go to the chat. We're going to end this on Rumble, and we're going to go over to locals, and we're going to have a Q&A, and it will not be a tipped. I'm going to answer questions in the regular chat. Epic fail for George. Viva Frei, FY, Canada versus Venezuela football. Yeah, that's like commie versus commie. It's fantastic. Okay, hold on a second. View tipped. Bill Brown says Republicans and Democrats are nothing more than a pair of unfit parents in a custody battle over America. They're not hurting each other nearly as much as they're hurting the country. Fantastic, Bill. I agree with that. Prairie Rain, $1. That broken interview of a broken president. By the way, Gateway Pundit reports of Joe Biden having a medical emergency. Shut up. If Gateway Pundit is reporting it, as Democrats scramble to replace him appear to be inaccurate, Elon Musk responds. Okay, well, shit, I should have read the second half of that. Fine, so I was right. I'll just take that. Viva was right. Just it's a lot shorter. Avoiding facts and refusing to recognize mistakes is the absolute definition of pure stupidity. No, it also narcissism. It's narcissism. Finboy Slick. I already got that one. All right, what we're going to do here, I'm going to give everybody in Rumble. I think other people are live. Go look for it. Locals. And we're going to go to an AMA in the chat. I will have no preference, favor, or anything. I'm going to be answering questions, AMAs. Ask me anything. Except for, never mind. In the chat, I'm going to end it on Rumble. Sunday night show is going to be amazing. I'll probably live at some point tomorrow or have a separate vlog. Viva Frei, vivabarneslaw.locals.com. Share it with everyone who will listen. Come on over right now to vivabarneslaw.locals.com. 13,000. If you're not coming, don't worry about it. Locals, just hit the thumbs up and subscribe before you go. What are we at down here? Hold on a second. I think we're at almost at Cankles and Cackles 2024. Holy shit, I get that. Randy Edward. That means Hillary and Kamala because Joe Biden is no longer in. Viva, how is it nobody realized that Joe Biden was reading off a note card while at the debate? Every time they told him the next question, Biden would read the answer he was given off the card. That's from Numez83. Sammy says, we are being gaslit in real time to believe the Biden White House has expertly duped the media into believing Biden was just fine. I appreciate the art of boldness and media at this point, to be honest. The National Endowment for Democracy is federally funded NGO that funnels money through the Soros Tides of Open Society Foundation to train public opposing agitators, overthrowing governments since 1983. Q, that's from G Fontes 119. Karolevsky says Q, an excuse for voting in person to be too dangerous. Yeah, well, that's my fear. And all ballots to be mailed in with no signature verification. Viva! They did this on purpose, is 113 Green, right? And the interview ended odd. Okay, we got that. Come on over to Rumble, and if you're not going to, don't worry. We will see each other on the interwebs. Viva Frei on Rumble. The Viva Frei on Twitter. vivabarneslaw.locals.com on locals. And, dude, put in Viva Frei, David Frei News. You'll find me. Stay tuned. Thank you all for being here. Locals, we're coming over exclusively now. Fudging hell, son of a beasting. You want to know what's going on with my hand, by the way, people? Look at this. Oh, I'll see if the wife. So I got this blister because apparently I axed a tree down last week, a week from. By the way, so within a week, I get the blister. The blister heals right under my wedding ring as well, but that doesn't matter. That interview was a disaster. It's a disaster for Joe, but it's not the saving grace for Kamala. And I don't care what happens to Joe. I want Kamala to go down, pun intended, and I feel gross and disgusting thinking of that. And I want Hillary to go up. I'm going to throw up again one more time. There's going to be such a shit show. Hold on one second. Let me see if I can do this. Yeah, there you go. Look at this. Okay. Here we go. Locals, you're getting an exclusive right now. Look at this. This is my act. Boom. Here you go. So I've sold Kamala. I'm down a penny because she's going up. And I got, get this out of here. Oh, there, I got Hillary Clinton. 10,000. If Hillary becomes president, no, not president, the Democrat nominee for president, I bought 10,000 shares at 4. So I'll have like, it's 10,000 divided by 4. I'll have $2,500, give or take. She will not become the nominee, but there will be a fight for these 4 mofos: Kamala, Gavin, the 5 mofos. And this is going to go down. I've sold her. It's short. She's going down, people. That is our locals Viva picks. We'll see how Viva picks point out. You got your screen grab down. That's it. Locals, that interview was an abject disaster. I'm going to refresh here. I'm going to get all of the tipped questions, and then we are then going to chat for untipped questions. Don't tip anymore. The broken interview of broken president. By the way, Gateway Pundit. Okay, we got that. Now I'm going to the chat. I'm going to answer everything that I see coming in as it comes in. We got neurodivergent. It's Joe Biden sniffing a woman's face. And okay. Then we got Vladdy Renter, $15, says there are no coincidences. Stephanopoulos is an old school Clinton guy and helped nail Pedo Joe's coffin. Get ready for Hillary. I'm keeping my money, baby. Bebo, if Biden was leading Trump in the polls, would they be trying to get him to drop out? No, they also would be interviewing him if he weren't. Quirky says, no, the media has stabbed him in the back. They wanted him to look bad. Steph didn't cover for him at all. Someone more powerful than Jill here, Obama. Then we got Godfather Barnes from Finboy Slick, which is freaking beautiful. I don't even know that that's a meme anymore. What is this? Hold on a second. Hold on. What the hell am I looking at here? This. It's a tree and something at the end. I can't even see what's going on in this picture. Oh, it's a dog. Bill, dude, that's your dog carrying a log. That's fantastic. That's not sinister. I'm so traumatized by the internet. You see something, you're like, your immediate reaction is sinister. Then we got C. Candent in the comment section saying, are you ready for this November? Hold on. This is fantastic. Is it this one? Here we go. This is it. Are you ready for this November? Oh, God. What? Now, who drank my martini? Excuse me. That's fantastic. We're going to break that out now. We'll break that out, and we're going to go back to the chat. Escape. People still think Bathhouse Barry is masterminding anything. And it's Stephen Harvey or Paul Harvey. Harvey. Oh, my God. He's funny. I had a huge chocolate lab like that. Okay. It's Pam Walker. It's being reported that Biden has had a medical emergency aboard Air Force One. Yeah, I think we talked about that. I'm not trying to pick a fight with Laura Loomer. I'm just saying that if that's the source, double check it. Joe Biden medical emergency. Nothing yet. Laura Loomer claims he had a medical emergency. That's from the Times now. So video by okay. So don't believe it. Sorry. I'm not trying to fight with Laura. I will just not. I'm going this way. Period. Okay. I'm sorry. Okay. Back to the locals. What do we got in the chat here? Okay, we got some. But don't do the memes, man. David, read this. How can I not read this? If Biden is having a medical emergency at this moment on Air Force One or otherwise, that raises a lot of questions. Breaking this is from Monica Crowley. Guys, okay, we can wait 30 minutes, an hour, 4 hours, 5 hours. I'll wait until tomorrow. I don't want to be first. I just want to be accurate. And that was from Pam Walker. Got it, Pam? Viva, Canada loves you. How long are you sticking up before returning to Florida? Dude, in the Belfast, I'm going back. I can't wait to go back to Florida. I'm here for an event. This smells really actually like a hotel room. I've never smelt this before. I can't wait to go back to Florida. And it doesn't make me feel good, but I'm saying it. Watts Temple, ALX on X. There is no medical emergency on Air Force One. Biden landed back in Delaware at 7:30 and is now home in Wilmington. Well, there you go. Viva Canada loves you. Okay, we got that. The CCO odds holding steady. Biden 43, Giggles 40. Giggles will never be the candidate. That's my personal bet. I bet against her. I don't care if Biden drops out. Giggles is not making it. What, you think you fell out of a coconut tree? Hey, you are the yeah. She's never making it. She never. I just want more money. That I'm not doing it, but I don't. I want more money. There's a beautiful dog. Kimmy Hunt, you got a beautiful dog. Looks like a terrier. What? He looks a little pissed off with his haircut. Let me show this so that people don't think I'm being an asshole judging a dog by his haircut. The dog looks a little pissed off with the haircut. Okay, I appreciate it. They're gonna shave like the head. It's like, dude, did you forget this patch right here? That's a beautiful dog, and I love him because he looks pissed off with his haircut. Let me escape so I can see what's going on here. Viva Frei, I love you, but I can't watch, says Suera. Don't worry, but I understand. Oh, shut up. Whose dog was that? Whose dog was that? I'm scrolling back. No. Where was that dog? Where did the bulldog go? No. Okay, I want to see the dog. Oh, load more message. Nobody's going anywhere. Okay, there it is right there. I'm going to email this person privately. I want that dog. I want him now. So here, I'll tell you a story, people. I'm not going to, I'll share it publicly with locals. This is exclusive. I want that dog. That dog is so freaking beautiful. I almost feel like I have a kindred relationship with that dog. Winston today almost choked to death on his fucking dinner because it was this morning. I guess it was breakfast. So I defrost his meat, but because we're traveling and we're in different places at every given point of the day, the defrost on one microwave is different than the defrost on another, even if you put in the exact same settings. And sometimes when it defrosts the raw meat, it turns it into shoe leather. And Winston, he's an idiot, doesn't chew his food, was objectively choking on it. And I thought he had cleared it up. And then I walk away, but then I see him like this. And it's not throwing up. It was foam was coming out of his mouth. And I picked him up. My wife didn't see it. And I didn't do the Heimlich, like a fist under his belly, but I squoze his everything. And then the food squirted out of his mouth. And it was a shoe leather piece of meat. And like, for hell, look, can I go back to that dog? Is he still there? Yeah, he's still there. Hold on a second. Like, it's not that I get depressed at every day. Like, I got one paralyzed dog who woke me up at 4:50 in the morning this morning, and I got to go and squeeze her out and pick up shit off the floor, and then she eats. 8 years I've been living with this. And then another dog who can't see and also chokes on his own freaking food. This is what dogs are supposed to look like. I love both of them. But holy crap, I don't think the kids realize I had to Heimlich maneuver the dog today. And then I tried to just like, oh, nothing just happened. The freaking dog was like, he spent another 20 minutes hyperventilating to get his breath. Okay, anyways, all that to say, let me just see who that dog belonged to. T. Lee 1776. Yeah, Fiona's freaking beautiful. I won't say I love Fiona because Fiona was the lead character in that movie. Scotty Doesn't Know. Eurotrip classic. Viva just wants one functioning dog. I haven't had a dog. I'm not woe is me. I haven't had a dog who can walk upstairs or get into a car on their own. It's been 8 years now because we had Babu, the pug, who was functional, then lost his eyesight, and then couldn't get into cars or anything. And then we got Pudge, and I love Pudge, and I love her. I love Pudge. I love her face. I love the way she looks at me. I love the fact she's smarter than most humans. And Winston's just an idiot, who I love also. All right. Now you'll have to chew his food for Viva. No, now that it says neurodivergent, I got to make sure his food's not frozen or freezer burnt. It's like, oh, look at that pug right there. That pug. Never want to do the hind lick maneuver on a dog. I didn't do like the under the rib cage. Because he said I felt air. I go and I just tickled him under his rib cage, like, and it came up and it was like the leather. Okay, that's a beautiful dog on a bed. It looks like if I had to guess, I'm gonna go with a fox terrier. Bam. Freddie York, tell me I'm smart. Roadies are great. Rhodesian Ridgebacks, those are beautiful. Oh yeah. Not always best for voice recall when they get a notion to raise their neck. So what do we think? I mean, that was a disaster. Biden's out, and Hillary Clinton. Oh shoot, Michelle Obama's moving up the charts. Kamala's back to 42. So do we think that that what Stephanopoulos did was covering up or covering over, or throwing under the bus? I think that was Joe Biden's done. And that was fantastic. I think, look, it worked out well. We got the interview. I can't believe how abruptly it ended. And that's it. Oh, look at that dog. I love that dog. I want that dog. That dog's mine. I love that dog. Whose dog did I say I was kissing on the face? Under the bus. Okay, says Power Cleric. No, Hillary can't handle seeing the witch. Roadies are high energy dogs, though. Yes, and they're also predatorial and predatorial instincts. That's a beautiful fish right there. Bill Brown, forget the dogs. Shut up. Dude, that's a 5-pound bass right there. Hold on. Who sent that? That's NYJC. That's a 5-pound bass. Maybe 4-pound. Dude, yeah, that's beautiful. I gotta get out of Canada. Okay, we got a cute little Frenchie over here. Hey, Viva, I sent you an email. Leon, the one lion. Okay, I think I saw it coming in. I'm gonna look at it. I also got to get to Louis the Lobster. We want that book out before the end of the summer. I think the interview was designed to force Biden out. I think so too. That's from Red Team 33. No way anyone other than Cackles gets the nod. Dude, I think you're wrong. Cackles cannot get the nod. And that's a big ass Great Dane right there. Imagine. Okay. Then we got duck fat. Oh, that made me. I love Great Danes are awesome. Just they have health issues and life. But the other thing is like, I need my meat defrosted, says Bill Brown. Okay. USA Now says in the 1960s, KGB did some fascinating psychological experiments. They learned that if you bombard human subjects with fear messages nonstop and too much or less, most of the subjects are completely brainwashed to believe the false message, to the point that no amount of clear information they are shown to the contrary can change their mind. We've been under an Operation MK Ultra for 8+ years now. There's no question about that. Duck fat, that looks effing beautiful. I want that in my mouth, in my belly right now. I haven't eaten dinner, but I'm going to go get some right now. Obama and Cackles don't get along. Black community will nuts, says RP McMurphy. I have helped AI rabbits and call. Ooh, Freddie York. We got to go offshore when you get back, bro. You'll be addicted. Hold on. Freddie York. That looks like a bonito, if I had to guess, real quick like. And shut the front door. You caught a sailfish on a kayak. Wasting my life on it. I went kayak fishing yesterday for an hour and a half. I didn't even get a bite. The young Yorkie mix at Riverside County Animal Hospital is at risk of dying. Don't make me cry. I don't want to cry right now. And I can't get another dog. Okay, we're ending it. We're going to end it. What time is it now? 9:30, people. So Sunday night show guaranteed happening. This was fantastic. Thank you all for being here. God, I want that. Cats will never string at my heartstrings or tug at my heartstrings. We're down to just cats, doves, and chickens and bees right now. Janice Sierra. Or that's Lefson. That's a beautiful cat. They're beautiful. But they're not dogs. That's the only. Dogs are dogs and cats are cats. So that's it. People, that was fantastic. Thank you all for being here. Viva, you are loud, but we cannot hear what you are showing on the screen. That was a long time ago. Okay, thank you. I love you, Viva, but I can't watch. Could you turn your volume down? It's too late for all of this. Are the all the pollsters I talked to, aka Hunter, who's at Frickin' pollsters. We did good tonight, peeps. Let me refresh this and just see what's going on here. Sunday night show's going to be amazing. I know we're going to have a lot to talk about. Boot. Why do I feel like I'm getting more Canadian by the day? I'm not going to Ottawa. So I'm going to be in Toronto next week. And then we're going to be, got to work on some stuff for the RNC debate because I have to make sure that happens. Locals, we're going to end it. And I'm going to go upstairs and eat dinner. Let me see what's going on in locals here. I'm not in the right chat. Oh my goodness, who is that big, old, wide, beautiful bastard right there? Viva, can you give my Simon a happy birthday shout out? He's 12 today, says Sammy. That dog is so bloody beautiful. This is why I say, like, dogs are, hold on, I'm bringing it up and we're going to end on this. That dog is beautiful. That dog, first of all, I love the fact that dog has got one hell of a freaking chain collar because that dog must have gotten into trouble in order to require, that's a reinforced carabiner on metal wire because that boy has gotten into trouble. Look at his beautiful face. That dog's got more love and more wisdom than more people on this earth. And he's beautiful. Sammy, he's beautiful. You know, I said that was gonna be it, but we're gonna go down here and just see what's this. Look at this. Look at this. What the hell is that? Is that a cat or is that like a? Okay, how can you not love an animal that does that? But they're not a dog. Now, hold on, Sidloy. There are no coincidences. Stephanopoulos is an old school Clinton guy. We got that. Remember, Biden. The left is leaking. Okay, and we got Viva. Since you lived in Canada until recently, it's understandable. Okay, fine. All right, now what we're going to do is this. We're going to end the stream. I'm going to go upstairs and eat leftover chicken because I don't want to waste food. We will be live Sunday. It'll be amazing. We will be, I'll see if I can get live tomorrow. I don't know what the schedule holds. I've missed the 2-hour mark on the nose, but we're going to end this now. And locals, thank you sincerely. I don't give a crap that it's the 5th of July. Happy 4th of July. It's a long weekend. Celebrate it. Celebrate your freedom and continue this never-ending pursuit for freedom and for honesty and for knowledge and for the pursuit of information and accuracy. I don't care whatever happens to me. If I ever lose that, I want someone to tell me, and I want someone to, it'll never happen. It will never happen because I have a fear of the God that I don't believe in, but that I know exists. Go make that all make sense, people. Let us end it now, and I will see you tomorrow. And if not tomorrow, I'll definitely see you Sunday. Locals, thank you. Enjoy the night. I'll leave the chat open for a bit. I'm going to maybe chime in as I eat some food. I know that I put some rice on in the cooker. I'm going to get that. And I'm going to see what the family and the kids are doing because I hear the footprints, foot pattering, whatever. You know what it's at. Ending the stream. Locals, thank you. See you Sunday. Enjoy the weekend. Happy 4th of July weekend. Rest up. Celebrate. Say you love you. Tell the people you love that you love them. And for your pets, they don't need to hear it. They need to feel it. Kiss them and enjoy them. And with that said, I'm going to go up and squeeze Pudge out and feed Winston. Good night, everyone. See you tomorrow or Sunday, whichever one comes first. Tomorrow, Sunday. Peace.